Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to your monthly Air Tribe Report. This is your host, the Peace Dealer, aka Chocolate Man, aka Rich, Smooth, Dark Chocolate, here to sweeten up your day with the motherfucking truth. This is for, of course, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Air! Yes, the air signs. It's not like we're the smartest element and most supreme element who thinks we know it all and has this air of superiority above other people or anything. Because I mean, that's just not even like, that's nothing we would ever do and make other people feel like we know more than them, because we don't have to do that, because we actually do probably know more. Anyway, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, let's go. Do you have your sun here? Do you have your rising here? Is it natal? Is it a progressed sun? You are in the right place. And we are going to break down the double agent Libra seat. I mean, the classic, of course, representative of activism and, of course, artistry. Libra, ladies and gentlemen. Libra is part of the famous five. All right. Before we go into Diabol Aquarius, we will, of course, break down Gemini and Libra, because honestly, why not? And yeah, let's finally do this. In fact, we're just going to jump right into this, because why would we waste time? Why would we even hesitate? So how you guys doing? I hope you guys are feeling good. I hope you guys are feeling powerful and empowered. I hope you guys are good in life, feeling good in life. Once again, this is going to be appropriately for the air signs and the air tribe. All right. So let us actually just get this out the way and start with Gemini. Let me remind you, I have resting bitch face, RBF. All right. Shout out to all my Earth risings. I have an Earth moon. I have RBF. I have resting bitch face. I look like there's something up with me, but I feel really good right now. I'm probably going to eat a pizza later today. Life is good. All right. I'm not really a fire sign. I don't really wear my passion or happiness on my face. I just like to feel very relaxed and walk around with RBF. All right. When you see me walking around with resting bitch face, I'm probably very happy right now. Okay. So if you also have resting bitch face, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And I just wanted to let you know that you're not alone. And others with RBF like you are also out here just looking sad, but really just thinking about what topping they want on their next slice of pizza as they enjoy their life moving forward. All right. Anyway, Gemini, we know that Libra is your fifth house. It makes a 120 to 150 degree angle to your Gemini sun, your Gemini moon, your progressed Gemini sun or progressed Gemini moon. Okay. And this is definitely going to fully express the creativity of your idea of your individual self socially with the right people in the right social spaces to fully, once again, really get your word out there. All right. I think what's also significant regarding this is this nature of course, you know, the Leo signature that will add this creative, talented expression. When we look at the fifth house for you Gemini risings, when we look at this trine, this opening trine, the 240-degree Sag signature is a closing trine. This Leo signature opening trine is the full expression of your talents, of what you are, and creatively, of course, demonstrated. So the psychology of every Libra season relative to a Gemini sun or rising or even the moon is every Gemini, you are going to adjust the perspective around what you think about yourself and who you think you are. Because of course, every year you go through 365 days worth of experiences, you adopt new mindsets, new behaviors, and experiences that change, of course, relative to the events of that year, who you think you are, what you think you are. This is independent of whatever zodiac sign you are. But for Gemini, which embodies this messenger, which is the individual thinker, okay, you have spent a very interesting period evolving this previous Gemini season with Jupiter in Gemini, your thoughts, your mindset, and most importantly, yourself. We know this based on last year. Gunna had one of the best years. Donald Trump won the election. Kendrick Lamar won the battle rap. Gemini has evolved. I'm going to keep using this historic event as an example when I talk about my kind, my Gemini kind, okay? Because we really did slaughter that year. So with that being said, now that we've expanded the idea of the next 12 years of how we're going to step into this next version of ourselves, Jupiter in Cancer is applying now the feeling of our worth. Now that we have expanded who we think we are, what do we feel we're worth? And are we ready to apply this expansion of our thoughts about ourselves into the liquidity that's going to make us rich as fuck? I mean, that you're going to be rich as fuck due to your own actions correlating with Jupiter here. What I'm going to spark notes and say it's going to make you rich as fuck because it's going to make you rich as fuck. So that being said, the more valuable you feel, the more rich you will become. Yes, I know. That sounds like pseudo science. But the more valuable you feel, if you feel like $1 million, you will attract millions of bucks. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? It gets crazier. Well, because now Uranus, your ass, is now in Gemini. All right. And with Uranus in Gemini, this is going to take the next 7 years to now take this evolution of your thought process around who you are and the expression of who you are. And it's going to innovate and express unadulterated revolutionary genius. This is going to be both terrifying and brilliant, for better and for worse. And now we take every year this idea of who you are. And then after we manifest in Cancer, the feelings that drive forward your thoughts of yourself by feeling the value. And then in Leo, we go on stage and we say it with our chest because I just told you who the fuck I thought I was, a god. And that's now the Leo third house. And then we integrate this in Virgo and we start to analyze what's really factual. What's the foundation of the analysis of our ideas that society can support and we can rest on. And the important thing about that Virgo season is that as we adjust with the first square, our thoughts of ourselves with the reality of where we place this, then that's what allows us to go into Libra. And then we can fully express these thoughts, polished and well presented. Because in between Gemini and Libra, we have, of course, felt the value of these words. We strengthened in Leo the courage with which we say these words. And then we filtered in Virgo the factual basis of the truth of who we are. So that when we're in Libra, it's balanced. And now we can fully express that. Of course, if we didn't pass the Virgo lesson and the things we're saying don't accurately reflect how real it plays out, then that's going to impede upon how creatively we can fully express our ideas. But if we do, then is cool. And that's why this is important, because Gemini risings, especially, you are unlocking all the success you could have ever dreamed you could ever achieve. And this is evidenced by Saturn since 2023, really disciplining the efforts you take towards gaining achievement in these goals through adding responsibility and putting you in these positions of authority to test what you do when you are in these positions to succeed. All right. And the North Node is going to unlock by and through destiny everything you're meant to achieve. The alignment of Saturn of totality and Neptune of transcendence is going to remove layers of what you even thought was previously possible, so that not only will you unlock this, but post March 2026, when we eventually put the North Node in Aquarius, you're going to unlock the boldness of your mindset in Leo in order to now unlock this awakening of the celestial philosophy that is really highlighting higher knowledge to reveal your celestial angelic nature. Now, if you ever watched Dragon Ball Super, you will know that all angels have a mastered form or a perfected form of ultra instinct. We actually saw this with the 47th president of the United States before he got blasted in the dome, but he has ultra instinct. So he changed fate, because ultra instinct for angels, our bodies move on its own, and he changed fate. And now we're in the timeline where, whether he is compromised by another foreign country that I won't say the name because it might be illegal to criticize or not, he is meant to be here. And what's also very important is that with the South Node in Virgo, now that we've made it from March to September, everything that we believed we could achieve, we are now breaking through how specifically we are going to form the strategy over the next 6 months coming back into March of 2026 in order to fully unlock all the success we're meant to achieve. That means from March up until September and this eclipse that we have just had in Virgo, you have now activated and integrated the process of making your dreams real. As of now, we're going to draw that out through Sagittarius, December at the end of the year, where now through other people, we're going to be showing other people how we made our dreams real. And by the time we go from December to March of 2026, we're going to be fully aware. And let me actually just show you, because you're going to see this new cycle starting in your 11th. By the time we pass the final eclipse in Pisces, you're going to be aware of how you have changed your career and have achieved your dreams. Hold me to that. That's less than 6 months away. And once we start this brand new world order cycle in your 11th, this is going to start the process of weeding away the dead weight in your social circle and activating the integrity of really maintaining this authority relative to the individual actions that connect you to these places of belongings and transcend these spaces, which will now activate you stepping into these rewards, original rewards that only you could achieve because of the words and the messages you put out there. So Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, even Aries to a degree, you guys are coming into major fulfillment cycles. Leo, we could even put you in there. Virgo, you have Uranus and Gemini. So you guys have very prominent 10th house cycles that are occurring right now. Gemini, you can see it's very active for you. And now knowing that, this is where Libra is going to integrate before we transform our behavior in Scorpio and begin to break through this vision in Sagittarius, the full-on expression as we are breaking through out of the old world with Saturn and Pisces, how specifically we will demonstrate and express everything that we have activated since June of this year, which consists of the unlocking of our dream careers, the innovation and evolution of our beings. And now what's very important about this Libra season is going to be illustrated relative to the subsequent square we will have, of course, with the sun in Libra to Jupiter in Cancer in our second houses. Namely, this is going to be where the sun first starts to integrate and break through the ground the activation that you previously had in your second house. And I think I might have to show you this because this is wicked ridiculousy. And as you can see, we had the conjunction sheen right here in your second to activate this state of liquidity, while Saturn and Neptune was transcending the social spaces that invest in what you're worth to make sure you have integrity around being around the right people and subscribing to the right places that align with the truth of who you are. And now that we've activated this cycle for the first time since we did that in June, you're going to start to drive forward more liquidation, as the fifth house of creativity will be challenging how well you have expanded your worth and value in yourself. Namely, if I'm evolving how much more valuable I am, then the way that I translate that into performance is going to reflect more power and influence. Kendrick Lamar, I think, is the best example of this out. If you take Kendrick Lamar 2 years ago versus if you take Kendrick Lamar now, Jupiter going through Cancer, we are seeing as his feature rate and the price that you can book him for concerts has most definitely skyrocketed, since he did win 5 Grammys for calling a popular recording artist a pedophile, albeit the song was way much more deeper than him being a PDF, allegedly. But you and I both know the only line you really remember is A minor. He won 5 Grammys for that. Stop fucking with Gemini. We will turn you to a song. And now that the sun is squaring this in the second house in Libra, his expansion of what he's worth now is reflecting in how much more powerful he's now in Mexico and other countries, telling people to say A minor poetry. Now, what's very important about this is if you don't feel valuable in yourself and what you're worth, how are you going to perform that and express these ideas socially with other people? You're just not necessarily going to fully express the ideas that you want to express. But because of this Libra square, your demonstration of these talents and the way you now fully express the ideas that you have, you're going to begin to see the wealth you've been liquidating start to break through the ground. And as you demonstrate this, create more value and more wealth. What's even cooler, of course, is with Mercury and Mars in your sixth house, this is going to ahead of time begin to transform the psychoanalytical understanding of your behavior and how purely you walk your routine as you formulate job spaces or work regimens, lifestyle behavioral patterns that will link directly to everything you're meant to achieve in the 10th. And guess what that's going to link back to? Liquidity. So this season and Scorpio season is really going to run a huge number relative to how realistically, as we step into Scorpio, you will be more aware of how everything we've activated since your birthday, or if you're a Gemini rising, since your first house, will now transform your behavioral patterns and routine and align with all the success you're meant to make, which is going to come into deeper amounts of money. So for those of you who have Jupiter transiting your progressed second house or your natal second house, this is going to be a very amazing breakthrough and shift over the next 3 months around really seeing and balancing how much more wealthy you're getting ready to become. You just want to make sure, relative to this demonstration, you are aligned with the integrity of what you believe you can achieve and how deeply you are willing to really express this and step into this. Wop, 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 wop. All right, Gemini, fuck them up. Next, we have Libra. Okay, Libra, happy birthday. In fact, because it's your birthday, this is going to be available for replay, and you don't even have to be a member. Libra, what's going on? How are you doing? Need I remind you that you are a target for the next 2.5 years? I know Charlie Kirk kind of got sent to the upper lobby room and people are making this a left versus right issue, but it's really a Libra thing. AOC is no safer than Charlie Kirk. And just like somebody hated him, there's a lot of people that hate her, Kim Kardashian, Will Smith, and any other Libra that you can think of, just because they exist. You see, if you look too deep into what bad or good things they're saying, you'll presuppose that there really has to be any reason that these people are being targeted, when realistically, Netanyahu, Vladimir Putin, who are both on hit lists, are at big risks of, during this opposition, either getting whacked or killed. Now, the opposition in and of itself does not mean that you're going to get killed. In the case of Diddy for Virgo Moon, he just got sued into oblivion. And thankfully, he beat his case relative to his perspective. We see this happening with Jay-Z as well, who had a Libra moon, but Sagittarius gets away with everything. So he shut that shit the fuck down immediately, because the audacity for you to even try and make up charges and not even have your shit straight, that's not going to work for them. So yes, Libra moon, you might have to be mindful as well, because the moon signs also get targeted. And Tory Lanez got locked up. Young Thug got locked up and is out of prison but on probation. You need to treat these oppositions very seriously. And if you think that maybe perhaps you need to be afraid of this, absolutely not. Because when it's your time, it's your time. Same with Cardi B. Please stop trying that lady in court. When will you people understand that Libra, which rules justice and law, has an affinity in court? They're undefeated in lawsuits. You are not going to beat Libra in court. Even when they're criminal defendants, they always somehow get a sweet deal, and then people think that they snitched or something. No, they're just Libra. They're always going to get the right affinity, and they have lawyer money. As a Virgo, I thought I was out of the crosshairs. Mainly you are, but just keep that in mind. Libra risings, Libra moon, Libra sun, stay sharp, because this Saturn opposition is you versus the world. Just ask Virgo. It's not necessarily a hatred thing. It's karma that is coming to test how well you draw boundaries and hold other people accountable to integrity. Are you going to let people walk over you and play you? Are the words and the actions you're taking going to come back in the form of deranged or sensible people who want to actually give you back that karma? Are you going to catch a body? Because it's also realistic. You may be the one clapping other people. Oppositions don't mean you just get murdered or thrown in jail or hated on or attacked. It can also represent marriage, divorce, business partnerships. The next 2.5 years for you, Libra, is quintessentially raising the standards of all partnerships that you will be entering into. Now, what's very interesting, when I started really doing astrology readings, was the 2010 and 2018 period when Uranus, yes, yo ass, was in Aries. And this was a very interesting period because every time I gave readings to Libra risings and Libra suns, I would say, are you attracting a lot of crazy ass motherfuckers during this period? And they would interrupt me and they'd be like, oh my God, peace dealer. Yes. What the fuck is it? And that's Uranus, the innovative revolutionary that you held space for, so that you simultaneously can innovate the unconventionality of your own authenticity in these partnerships. Well, now it's no longer Uranus. It is the Reaper, Saturn, and the diabolical troll Neptune that totally got away for the second time with trolling all of humanity. I still don't know how it did it again, and we knew ahead of time that it was going to be back, and it still got away. But hey, anyway, this is going to add a very serious nature to your relationships, literally adding a life and death element to, if you trust the wrong person, you could lose everything you've ever worked for. No pressure, no biggie. What's also really cool, though, is the South Node in Virgo. And with Venus polishing your unconscious habits and beliefs, let us not forget that the North Node in Pisces lesson for you, Libra, is unlocking your dream life. And let me make sure I'm clear here. You are unlocking your dream life. You are living the life of your dreams. I know one of the realest masters and Virgo sons who has a Libra rising, and he is finally playing in the NBA. To me, that kind of looks like he made his dream life come true. And that's something he had to put in hours of hard work, dedication, and consistency to step into. So please do not be in the deception of thinking that this dream life you are coming into is not 100% well-deserved. And I think it's very, very, very important, once again, to establish you are unlocking your dream life. Saturn is testing the integrity of your belief systems that govern how it is you form behavioral patterns. How do you believe you are living your life? From March up into this point, you disciplined 6 months worth of actually applying that. And over the past month, you have replaced old habits with these beliefs. So now Libra season is having you apply this release of old habits and now step into the social persona of the being who is living their dream life. I do not believe in faking it until you make it, even though that works. I'm too stubborn for that. I do believe in acknowledging the truth. And the truth is, you're living your dream life right now. And if you don't see it, you're just blind. You just haven't realized it yet. So I'm not going to tell you to pretend. I'm just going to say, recognize it, figure it out. Okay? Because by the time we get back to March of 2026, if you're not fully aware that you have pretty much finessed the universe in order to live your dream life, well, you're going to be very aware of it by March. My friend is a lawyer and a Libra, and someone tried to sue her. How stupid that person is for trying to sue your Libra friend. They're in for a rude awakening. Now, what's also amazing is that you do have Mars and the Moon and subsequently Mercury will enter your second house. And if there's one thing we know about you, Libra, we know that Cancer is the juice and Scorpio is the sauce. And Gemini has Cancer and Libra has Scorpio. So Gemini has the juice, but Libra got the sauce. You see, you're a superhero. And Talib Kweli said that justice is what love looks like in public. So you have psychoanalytical super strength. I really just said that to sound more verbose, but it's actually true. You have pure wisdom that you have the capacity to manifest, giving you psychological depth and insight as you manifest intangible qualities and psychological strength and wisdom. I said those words again, in order to, of course, strengthen the quality of how you apply the superpower that is you, being applied intellect and motion. I'm not really flattering you or gassing you. These are just facts. So why that's important is that with Mars, which is making a 270-degree square to Pluto in your fifth house in Aquarius, is that it is completing this supernatural awakening of your talents by now you taking actions to manifest the pure quality of such, adding to your wisdom and preparing for next month when the sun actually reaches Scorpio, and you're going to be aware of what you have begun to complete. You see, every 19 years every year for the next 19 years from now, you are going to conjunct Pluto in your fifth. And the analogy I'm using for you is that you, since 2021, have mastered discipline and talents you have reawakened. Saturn going through Aquarius 2021 to 2023 really disciplined your inner child. So let's just say it's like you learned how to play guitar again from scratch. And now that you've mastered the discipline to play guitar, and with Saturn going through Pisces, you've incorporated it and integrated it into your dream life to where you play guitar for a living. I know. Pluto is going through Aquarius. And now what you notice is that once you're playing guitar, there's a supernatural effect. People just start making out. And at first you thought that maybe it was a coincidence that everyone gets laid at your concerts. But now you're realizing you're some kind of love god or love goddess. And now you are awakening the supernatural ability for your music and playing of the guitar to arouse the people that you're playing towards. And now they all want to have sex with each other and they're all getting laid. And this is making you realize, wow, I actually have supernatural talents, but I had to discipline myself over the previous years to make sure that I've mastered guitar. So now I can awaken these supernatural abilities. Now, maybe for some of you, you've mastered how to play piano, and you realize that every time you play a piano piece, everyone who's in the crowd gets rich. And now people are coming to your concerts because they know if they listen to you play, a miracle is going to happen to them and you, or you're going to get rich. Now, I want you to apply this analogy to like Deneen Smith. What's actually happening to you now? This fifth house Aquarius is, of course, the full expression of the knowledge that ties through your embodiment of the social function of activism, artistry, communicating and bridging ideas. Libras love science. This is like Neil. I don't know how to say that. Is it Tice DeGrasse? He's a really great expression of this because you can see it embodied. Libra of partnership. He does star talk with a partner, right? I'm pretty sure he can do it by himself, but Libra plays off with other people. And anything that represents this breadth of knowledge, this is going to represent their creativity. You see it with him as much as you see it with Eminem and Lil Wayne. Even though they seemingly are in a different field, Eminem has turned rap into a science. All right, that's a little bit of reach, but still, it's going to represent the knowledgeable quality with which is awakening, and is going to add a much more advanced genius element to how you express your creativity, hence them being gods of rap gods. I mean, Wayne literally told you he's not a human being. Aquamoon, he's literally an alien. Now, what's also important here is now that we know that every year, January 20th to February, you are going to be awakening higher levels of genius in your creative talents. Every time we have placements through Scorpio, you're going to complete that process through manifesting deeper value and more sauce. Every August, when we reach Leo season, the talents you awaken late January will harvest in the form of you performing those talents to your audience in Leo with your entourage on stage. And then that's going to break through and complete in your second house, where you manifest more sauce, more wealth. And why is that even more amazing? Because Jupiter is in Cancer, and it is now evolving your legacy. Because back in 2017, blah, 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 jargon, astrology, I don't even really hear the people. I'm just hearing planety saying blah, 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 blah. And this helped you actually make it to the finish line where you evolved your career goals. Namely, if I can translate, you activated an evolution cycle with Jupiter in your sign 2017, and then by now that it's in Cancer, you have finally begun to complete that evolution cycle. That's going to characterize itself in breaking through opportunities that you've worked your goddamn ass off for, or it was effortless for some of you, and now you're going to step into the next cycle over the next 3 years. This now opens up a liquidity of wealth and success, where with Mars in Scorpio, you are taking action to secure more wealth, and that's going to tie into your dream life that is totally unlocking in Pisces, and that's going to tie into this expansion of your career goals that you feel in Cancer. And that's important because back in Cancer season, where we activated this Sun Jupiter, you had Saturn and Neptune square that from your 7th, starting this process to raise the standards of your partnerships as you expand your career success, because you cannot have ragamuffins and scrubs walk down the red carpet with you, but have people who match your level of integrity achieve this success that coming into next year, you're going to come into the most awesome rewards and level up your entourage so that you can focus fully on awakening supernatural qualities of your talent. And yada, yada, jargon, blah, 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 jargon, astrology, good events, blah, blah, yeah. Now, why that's also amazing, it is giving legendary status, is because now that the Sun is going to square Jupiter in your 4th, this is going to begin to integrate this new cycle since late June, that you activated to begin evolving your career goals. And now you're going to see those seeds that you planted back in late June break through the ground over the next 3 months, where you're going to begin to adjust how you balance your own persona to align with this expansion of career. Namely, at this square in the next couple of weeks, you're going to feel more successful. You're going to feel you are evolving the achievements you come into. So now, are you going to carry yourself in the same way? If this Jupiter in Cancer is manifesting in you going from being an employee to now the owner of a company, are you still going to walk around like you're the employee of the company? Or are you going to walk around like you are the CEO of Libra and Co? You're fired! I'll see you tomorrow, Susan. That's what you're doing right now. Liquidity. And it's very important that we illustrate the innovation of your philosophical approach. Whenever I talk about 9th house, I'm just going to insert philosophical approach. I'm going to cookie cutter this shit. And this is going to really take the meaning of how you show other people truth, 9th house Gemini. And this is going to now work towards making unconventional how you show people your talents. So happy birthday, Libra. I want you to whoop out your big fat penis, especially if you are a woman born with a vagina. Whoop out your big fat penis and let the world know that you have completed all the work you've needed to do in order to step into this next version of you. And as Saturn tests the relationships and have people actively antagonize you so that you can hold other people accountable to your standards, it is up to you to whoop out your big fat penis and slap anyone in the face with it that has the nerve, the unmitigated gall, and the audacity to respect The boundaries you have set in place. Now, you don't want a battery charge and you don't want to get charged with sexual assault. So when I say slap them with your big fat penis, I am, of course, talking about your energetic auric penis. Now, if you can get away with doing that, please don't do anything illegal, but you know exactly what I mean. Whether you need a physical or metaphorical strap on, it is up to you to make sure you do not let any other people play you. Because individuals out there will get ideas, and if you leave yourself open to become a martyr, well, we know what happens September 10th. I don't mean that disrespectfully. I'm really serious. I'm really fucking serious about this. Like, Pop Smoke died when Saturn was opposite his sun. Like, this shit is for real, for real. You don't have to worry about being killed. But watch your moves. And that's why everyone was saying what happened to him was ironic, because Saturn oppositions bring karma to come back to you, not good or bad karma. And not karma in the sense of, see, that was his karma. No. I have to take responsibility for the karma I have of putting myself out here. If someone were to come and try and do anything to me here, whether I deserved it or not, that is my karma for putting myself out here on this platform against the wishes of the FBI and CIA, who know that me sharing this astrological wisdom goes against maybe the nefarious plans that, in cahoots with other intelligence agencies, they may not want someone spilling the beans and telling these wisdom about the stars. All right. Thankfully, no alphabet letter agencies probably even have me on their radar, and I can just pass this off as an unfunny joke, because that would actually fucking suck if I was being watched by secret societies. But other than that, this is going to illustrate the nature of how now, with the South Node out of your sign, you are getting ready to push forward and break through the completion of accomplishments you have worked hard to establish since 2017, and the full-on integration and breakthrough of karma that you have activated since 2010, when Saturn was last in Libra. Happy birthday. And don't forget to smack people in the face with your big fat dick. Now, Diabol Aquarius. Okay. Diabol Aquarius. I'm not going to say you're evil. Marilyn Martin Luther King Jr. is a Capricorn. Please do not. I know they're trying to say Charlie Kirk is like y'all Martin Luther King. No, Charlie Kirk is y'all George Floyd. Charlie Kirk is the George Floyd. All right. They're even born October 14th. Let us not compare Libra with Capricorn. He is not y'all Martin Luther King. He is y'all George Floyd. And I think that's very, very symbolic. Both Libras. Martin Luther King is a Capricorn sun. He's a goat. He's a goat. Okay. He is a man who played his role, and people from all sorts of communities will most definitely, of course, share criticisms about Martin Luther King. But of course, these are all in hindsight. All right. That being said, Diabol Aquarius, you do have Hades in your sign. And I'm not going to lie, ever since the Lord of the Underworld went in your sign, you have all been sus. It's like you all became low-key anime antagonists, third season anime villains that we didn't know could have been the villain, and we still don't know is the villain, but you have this kind of like mysterious aura around you. And I have reason to be terrified that you're secretly Viltrumites, and you're going to awaken your plan to take over the world. By the way, did you know that Aquarius has planned to take over the world for over a few centuries? You see, 248 years ago, where they had mass scale invasions before the likes of Roswell, well, we didn't have broadband communications. And 240 years before the 1700s, where this country's Declaration of Independence was signed, and George Washington, who is an alien, yes, don't argue with me. He was born Pisces season. That man is an alien. That being said, before that, in the 1500s, Pluto was also in Aquarius. And what happens when Pluto goes into Aquarius is that celestials visit this Earth en masse. We have a lot of alien contact. It's just, this is the first Pluto Aquarius where we have finally updated our technology to have broadband communication signals that can link what's happening in one country to another country within seconds. So we're going to start to see all the supernatural alien activity that your ancestors did, but they didn't necessarily have the equipment to record what the fuck was happening or the vocabulary to understand and know maybe what it even was. They definitely had the vocab. But yes, now what happens is that Aquarians awaken before they get nerfed again. And I do have a feeling that every single Aquarius on this planet actually has God level abilities, can fly, can be aware of the cosmos, can actually see and know the future, can perform telekinesis. They just keep these abilities hidden from you. They can literally bilocate their consciousness and be here, but then astral project while they're awake in different spaces. I know I sound like I'm snitching. And they totally come in peace and they're here to save us. This is why they're humanitarians. They're just leaving out the part where they're going to occupy our planet and basically just take it over, revolution style. But hey, it's all for our well-being. We're totally not cooked. Anyway, as an Aqua rising and Aqua moon, Aqua risings know they're not from this bitch, and Aqua moons feel that they're not from this bitch. So they're awakening their alien contacts. They've been speaking alien on a frequency level, so they don't have to say any words through their vocal cords. Their vibration is emitting a frequency to other celestial beings outside of this world, like, this world is ready for takeover. The human species on this planet is unsuspecting, and most of them are poor and broke. This will be an easy takeover. And for some reason, Aquarians don't want to tell you that this is what they're basically facilitating. And they're pretty much going to play dumb and act as if they're not really planning to take over every facet of the world in entertainment, politics, as well as also nonprofit activism. So that's something. But other than that, now that you do have Pluto going through your placements, Aquarius, your full supernatural potential that has been nerfed since you were born because the vibration being released would literally kill people is actually being released and is going to facilitate mass extinction events that are going to kill people. See, that's why we're seeing an increase of unhingedness. Can you believe it? At some point, we would have a school shooting and people would actually be frazzled. Now we can have a school shooting hours after a political figure gets assassinated, the same day a country gets taken over by Gen Z, and all sorts of stuff and protests happen, and we barely even notice. Pluto and Aquarius, you're going to exponentially make humanity so much more unhinged. And we're going to see more hacking, terrorism, shootings, and destabilization of authoritative structures. This is literally what happened last time when the guillotine was created, the last time Pluto was in Aquarius, and all the monarchs got their heads cut off before Napoleon came through, faded about most of Europe, and then lost after getting jumped 6 times in a row, only for the monarchs to take back control and then eventually democracy have its way. While in the meantime, every revolution known to mankind that was inspired by what France did happened. And if you don't think that's not already happening again, look around you. Because for some reason, we give a fuck about a list relative to corrupt pedophiles, even though I'm sure this has always been the case. And yes, this timeline is weird as fuck. Anyway, Welcome to Libra season. That's going to prepare for Scorpio season, which is going to be the completion of your supernatural master plan to take over the universe. Look at me, Diabolic Aquarius. I know you plan to take over the world. And what no one else realizes is that you've already succeeded in your plot. The end game has already finished. Okay. And why that's also important is like Libra, every year for the next 20 years, you're going to awaken more supernatural quality of your own energy that's going to remind the rest of us how cooked we are. Thankfully, I'm an air sign and I do respect Aquarius. So I feel like as a Gemini, Aquarians are going to give us preferential treatment and they're not really going to abduct us like they might invade other people on this planet. Now, like Viltrumites, Aquarians only love you like they love their pets. So they're going to tell you they love you and they're going to pour in a lot of time for you, but they love you in the way that they love a dog. Take that for what it means. I won't say that that's a bad thing, and they will tell you I'm lying, but anyway, it is what it is. Nothing wrong with loving the pets in your life as they literally use you like chess pieces. Because, I mean, if you can't be used by Aquarius, you're fundamentally useless. As we activate these cycles every late January, we're going to complete them in Scorpio season. And this is going to provide the wisdom to let you know how you are transforming society around you to take you one step closer towards your ultimate goal of world domination. Eventually, Pisces will begin to awaken 2044 to 2068. And by the time they awaken, it's over for us and we're doomed. You see, Pisces could just flood this entire world on a whim, but thankfully they're distracted by drugs and porn or religion. And that's why we're still alive. But as the celestials awaken, they're going to slowly awaken. And that's not going to do it. And we may all be fully cooked. Thankfully, we have 19 years from now to contemplate what we're going to do with the rest of our humanity in existence, while the celestials and evil geniuses who are awakening now are securing their domination over the planet. You might be thinking that I'm being sarcastic and I'm joking and I'm going off topic, saying nonsense about Aquarians and zodiac signs and them taking over the world. Have you seen an Aquarius? Have you seen the knowing smile they make as they tell you they don't know what they're talking about, even though there's nothing they don't know? Crazy. I'm not gassing these people up. I'm telling you the truth. It is what it is, though. Jupiter through Gemini has effectively evolved your talents, and they are keeping low key, like a J. Cole who stepped out of a rap battle and is working on an album as we wonder what the fuck happened to this guy and why is he holding the heat that he's about to unleash on the world unexpectedly out of nowhere. See, while people have counted people like him out, I understand that they're the most dangerous equation right now. The Camerons of the world, who will literally pay you money and book you just to put you in a movie they're never going to put out. Diabolical. Why would you even beef with people like that? Anyway, while they have evolved their creative talents, now that Jupiter is in Cancer, this is putting you in a position to now evolve how you feel you're meant to live your life, as Saturn in your second house of manifestation is unlocking supernatural black magic through your imagination. Because when life gets tough and you have more than bills to pay, as well as all sorts of relationship issues that you need to deal with, and the pressure of responsibilities that knock on your door, there's nothing like black magic at a supernatural level that just gets the job done for you. And the integrity of your own self-esteem and value that you imagine literally out of thin air is with what you're going to literally pull out of the dream realm to make anything real. Yes, I am literally saying that you can imagine things in real time, you can make them happen just because you imagined that that's what's happening. I'm going to say this again because that sounds fucking retarded. Second house Pisces here means that you can imagine a cheeseburger fish sandwich. Yes, can you imagine having a cheeseburger sandwich that has fish fillets in it? And you can put your hand in your imagination and you can pull it out of your imagination and eat it. This is what it means to be the second to last zodiac sign, being the high king and queen, representing the supernatural and manifesting anything you imagine literally like that, because you have since 2023 disciplined your imagination to align with what you value, to snap your fingers and make this happen. If any Aquarius sun, moon, or rising tells you they can't do this, they are either lying to you or they forgot who the fuck they are. They're an Aquarian with amnesia, which is hilarious, and you should immediately start laughing in their face. What's also amazing about this is that now that you are effectively unlocking the ability to quite literally manifest what you imagine on command, or at the very least, develop great discipline around your capacity to manifest and demonstrate your self-esteem, this is going to align to Cancer to make sure that what you are manifesting, you're able to consistently support the routine that keeps this in flow, that will now transform the career success in Scorpio that Mars is already having you take action towards. Thus, Libra season being the final stage of breakthrough as a humanitarian to flesh out the adjustment of your sociological approach towards trolling people in relationships, as now Uranus in Gemini is not only innovating how diabolical the words you use to entrain people are, but Neptune is reimagining your alien language, namely you using telepathy without even having to say words, but still say everything at the same time. You know how Aquarians type paragraphs because, like Geminis, we like to hear ourselves talk. I mean, when you're as smart and genius as us, we really just want to admire how intelligent what we're saying is. Unlike Libras that actually like to apply their thoughts and demonstrate through their art, Aquarius and Gemini, we just really love to talk. It's so fun. So, of course, with Pluto in your sign and Uranus in your fifth, this is not only awakening supernatural, sci-fi-esque quality on your person, but it is now innovating the diabolical quality of how you use your words to shock and terrify people. Here's an example. No, I don't love you. Let's just be friends. Hey, I think you're cool. Can you be cool over there and give me my space? It's not you. It's me. No, it's definitely you. And this is going to be an amazing way with which now in Libra, you see the bridging of these words and the creativity of these classic statements and the meaning behind how you apply them with real people in social spaces. We also have to remember that with the South Node in your 8th house in Virgo, you are effectively unlocking your ability to manifest on command and the nature of wealth this opens up by the analysis of how you invest this in and with the right people and who invests in what you are building. See, that's the difference between you and Leo right now. Leo is using their social value to bankroll and invest in the right spaces. Aquarius, you're getting people to invest in your dreams so that you can either rug pull and scam them, or you can make everyone wealthy because you take those investments and you actually create something of value that gets everyone paid. If that doesn't work, you can always fake your death like a very popular Israeli Mossad spy and have everyone wondering what's on your list. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed this monthly Air Tribe report. And I'm just here to remind you that Aquarians read your mind real time and then pretend that they don't know what you're thinking. Can you say diabolical? Awesome. Beautiful. Well, after this Libra season, as this squares Jupiter in your sixth house of lifestyle, you're going to see how the ways you're breaking through in your relationships with others align with your lifestyle. Are you able to make sure you're maintaining the habits that allow you to feel more luxury and feel more liquidity in your life? Every Aquarius at heart is Rick Ross with his own chain of wing stops, shamelessly promoting his brands because it doesn't matter if he's beefing with you, he's going to get paid and promote his brands. And he's going to show you the life of luxury he lives because they're from the future and they already took over the world. I hope that sounded stupid as fuck because reality is truly stranger than fiction. Last thing I'm going to say is your narration powers are awakening. If you have not seen Stranger Than Fiction, you need to see Stranger Than Fiction. Will Ferrell is going to be like the Gemini or the Leo or the Cancer. And then the actual author of the book, that is every Aquarius in the planet right now. And they just narrate. And then the shit they narrate actually happens. If you want to have fun, go find a Sagittarius and then see them with an Aquarius people watching. And they're just going to narrate. Like Sagittarius will be like, look at this dumbass motherfucker. They're going to trip over themselves and drop the cake. And then they actually do. These are some wicked people. And then Aquarius is going to be like, look at them. Look at them. That girl's about to break up with his boyfriend right now. I think it's time we end. And then that's what happens. They literally just narrate people's lives like they're outside of this reality. And we don't have bills to pay and shit to do. But we just ended up being the subject of your conversation. And now you're controlling elements of our life that we don't even know. Anyway, it is what it is. Y'all keep shifting the airwaves. I'm going to end this tribe report right now, and I will resume tomorrow with the water tribe. All right. We will talk about the emotional manipulators and the most legendary troll of them all, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. You guys stay blessed as always. Thank you guys for tuning in to me and watching me. And until next time, peace.